Violent anti-war protests spread from the Middle East to Europe and Southeast Asia, and demonstrators have descended on D.C. and Capitol Hill. U.S. law enforcement officials tonight say they have concerns of the threat moving to the homeland in the wake of Israel's war with Hamas. An alert to American police and government agencies, citing a recent increase in threats to Jewish, Muslim, and Arab communities. As authorities around the world cope with a violent backlash to the war, tonight on Capitol Hill, police called in reinforcements as demonstrators descend on D.C. No serious clashes here by Homeland Security officials and the FBI. According to the federal alert, tensions coupled with the widespread sharing of graphic and disturbing content related to this conflict increase the prospects for violence in the United States with little to no warning. Specifically, lone offenders likely pose the greatest threat in the homeland. The bulletin cites an alleged hate crime here in Will County last weekend when this 6-year-old Palestinian boy was stabbed 26 times and killed. The 71-year-old man charged with murder is now also facing a federal civil rights and hate crime investigation. Faith-based threats are of particular concern in the bulletin. Since the October attacks in Israel, we have observed an increase in threats to these communities, including reports of physical assaults, bomb threats, and online calls for mass casualty attacks. Allahu Akbar! And overseas, American hostages held by Hamas are especially vulnerable, including this mother and daughter from Evanston who traveled to Israel for a family celebration when they were taken at gunpoint by Hamas.
I think our family is built of people who are optimists. We're focused on when she eventually does return, that we have systems in place to help her on her journey through recovery.
Late word now from police in Washington. About 300 people arrested during today's ceasefire protest. Capitol Police now say several were charged with assaulting officers, but most are facing charges of demonstrating inside the Capitol. D.C. police have just given an all clear inside the House office building that had been occupied today by protesters. President Biden now heading back to Washington after a short trip to Israel. Once again, another day with a lot happening on that front.
Absolutely.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.